Well, folks, if you can hear us, that's good news, but the live feed has ended from what YouTube shows. Live feed has ended from what YouTube shows.
It's all right. We'll talk our way through the game for a moment while that gets sorted out. We had Principia kicking off to Mira Costa. Ball ended up pretty deep. Box kick from Mira Costa. And we're back up close to the halfway line. Scrum to Mira Costa.
Well, if the live viewers can hear us, then that's good news. If they cannot, that's bad news. We've got wide ball to Mira Costa and looking to run. They've got a breakaway, but Principia's defense shifting adequately. We are trying to find out if, in fact, anyone can hear me or if I am just talking to myself and maybe Nick. We'll find out. More on that in a moment. Perhaps it is so cold that the technology has simply given up, but it is official. We are not being heard.
Ooh, nice ruck.
A very nice ruck for Nick and I. The moment someone hears, oh, we've got confirmation that Charlie Petch can hear us, though maybe some folks can't. That's weird. Charlie Petch, a former player for this great sport, a team sport, a fitness sport, and the ball is kicked inbounds. A mistake by Principia, and the Mira Costa player looks to sort out what to do. Oh, two missed tackles by Principia, but a great run by the Mira Costa player moves them into the 10-meter line. Ball is placed, as we can see, a take and go from Mira Costa, and they're keeping possession well. Rutgers protecting, and a take and go again. Number 17, a substitute player. A little bit of diving over. I've seen less athletic.
Referee almost got ran over. He went up to the ruck to try to get Principia out of there, giving a little correction, and then number 1 on Mira Costa came barreling in through right by him.
And a deep kick. Oh, bad bounce. Puts Mira Costa with opportunity, but here they are still on defense, and Principia is looking to turn the corner. Mira Costa gained back possession. A great tackle by a Mira Costa player. And, oh, a long arm penalty against Principia for Mira Costa. Interesting.
So it looks like we're just outside of Principia's 22. Mira Costa has a penalty, and they're thinking about what they're going to do with the ball.
To those who were kicked off of our stream, welcome back. Oh, a huge run by number 3. 3 players to take him down, and Mira Costa back on offense, looking to move the ball a little wider.
Principia was a little clustered, but they had slow ball and was able to recover and launch. Mira Costa need to get that ball out just a little bit faster out of the ruck. Down closer to about 7-8 meters from the goal line, and Mira Costa working on just pounding that ball right by the ruck. Now spinning it out to the backs. Room to run. Tackles made. They're just a couple meters away from the in goal. But slow ball again. Principia has a chance to reset the defense. Spinning the ball back to the right. Still a couple meters away. Contact again. And Mira Costa has earned a penalty. So playing advantage right now. They're just a few meters away from the in goal.
Excellent tackle by Principia, keeping the ball right on the end goal, but long arm penalty, a tap and go, and Mira Costa tries to make it through. They're close. They're pounding it in, and they dive for a try, and a try is scored by Mira Costa. Great offensive moves there. Folks, for those of you who were lost in the live stream switch, welcome back. We apologize for the frozen cables, or maybe Dorian looked at them wrong. Nick's reminding me some of the rules of rugby that I have since stopped practicing.
It's really, really nice ball control there by Mira Costa, going back to what we saw at the beginning of the first half. Keeping possession, pounding away, making Principia make the tackles, and finding those gaps and earn the try. And the conversion was good. Looks like we are doing maybe a taping job for one Principia player in the end goal.
We've got a Principia kick to Mira Costa, and we're bringing on a Principia substitute.
We've got number 20 going on for number 8.
A strong kick with a chase by 14. Oh, the ball's live, and Principia keeps it in. Now we've got number 4 running up. And a tackle's made by Mira Costa. They're back on defense. Oh. Ball placed. Mira Costa player crawling through the ruck. That is, yeah, that's.
18 left his feet as he came through there, and that's most definitely not allowed. And we do have an injured player off that, so the referee's going to stop time for a moment and sort this out.
That would be the equivalent of crawling south when you were supposed to crawl north. Unfortunate for Mira Costa that their strong contested ruck happened right after one of their players slowed the game down.
But the penalty came from that player diving off his feet through the ruck.
Oh,
so
look at that.
That was the penalty. The ref did let the crawling player go away because it didn't interfere.
Wow.
But yes, that could have been called as well. It can be a little bit tough sometimes. You're trying to wiggle out of the ruck, and you can only go one direction. And it looked like that way he just rolled the wrong way.
Rugby is a game of laws, and when you break multiple laws, you have to decide what you prosecute and what you finger wag at.
Referees are letting stuff go all the time, and if they were calling all the laws, they'd be on their whistle nonstop the entire game. So we're gonna have a line out, Principia threatening. It looks like 15 meters out from the end goal, maybe 10 meters. So Principia's had a couple poor lineouts, missed throws. Both teams have really made some steals, and let's see how this goes. He gets the height that time. They go right to the maul, and Mira Costa really putting all their chips in one basket by having that first lifter go. That takes away 3 people for the maul.
You notice their defense is very tightly packed now. They look to be anticipating what Principia chooses, which is to pile a player in. They're Mira Costa very tight on defense. Surprised they're not contesting the rucks. And Principia tries to take and go. They're not using their offensive, but Mira Costa's defending. Ooh, diving over.
Principia player coming off his feet on the ruck. When you see 5 or 6.
Mira Costa's got numbers here and width. Principia looks to shift the defense, but the ball is dropped, and Whistle by the ref. Forward pass by Mira Costa. A tough break just when it looks like they have got some numbers on the outside.
It's odd seeing Principia just try to pound it through. You've got two of their props, those Mira Costa's very large props, and other sturdy members of their forwards standing right at the ruck in a nice low tackling position. Principia trying to dive at the ankles, but that just was not effective. You have all these speedy backs. Why are you not passing the ball out wide and letting the backs run? Seems like a poor choice.
In a thinking man sport, sometimes a little less thinking doesn't help. And we go to the scrum. Principia gets the feed. Ball's rolled in. Oh, Mira Costa makes a good hook, but can Principia recover on the drive? No, they cannot. Ball to Mira Costa, great steal, but there we go. We got a forward pass indication. Well,
yeah, I think he was saying it was okay. It did look like a knock to me.
Yeah.
It must have been letting the players know that it was straight down and not forward.
I think you're right, Nick. And so Mira Costa keeps possession, and here they go looking to move the ball forward again. But Principia having a hard time tackle these folks. Got to make better tackles if you're going to keep playing. Yeah. Ooh. A little bit of spice from number 17, but Principia looks to jackal. Mira Costa keeps
whoever was on the ground, whether that was 17, the ball carrier, not releasing the ball when Principia went to jackal for it. That was the penalty there.
Not releasing. That's a technical term.
He's going for points. He's going to kick.
So we're in the second half now. The score is currently 47-22. Principia in the lead. A tough fought game so far. Competing skill sets. A lot of strength, a lot of strong defense by Mira Costa, a lot of speed, a lot of maneuverability by Principia. Principia is choosing to kick from about the 35-meter line for a 3-point score. A little wide. It looks like live ball. Mira Costa.
He's going to touch it down. That gives them a 22-meter drop kick.
Drop kick's unusual, Nick. Walk us through the...
So they have to kick anywhere behind the 22-meter line. It has to cross the 22-meter line, but other than that, it doesn't have to go a particular distance. So they may pass it around a little bit, fake where they're kicking from, and then Principia's responsibility is to make sure they have enough guys up on the line to cover a very short kick of even inches, but also back deep enough to cover the long kick. And then all of Mira Costa's players, no matter where the ball is kicked from, do need to be behind the ball when it is kicked. And they did have one offsides a little bit, but behind the referee again.
Principia protecting the ball well. Poor pass out, but it got to him. It'll work. Good run by Principia's number 10. They're looking to pound it over and clearly thinking right. They got strong numbers right, even though they're dense on the field over there. Not a lot of room, but there we go. Oh, good offload. Keeps the ball moving, and 14 looks to go around. Runs out of bounds, though. Running out of bounds is a no-no in rugby. It's very unproductive, unless you're scared.
Good way to give the other team the ball.
Might as well just do that live.
Sometimes people need a little rest. So run out of bounds and get a little breather.
As we mentioned in the first half, there are 3 set pieces in rugby: the line out, the scrum, and the ruck. And this is one of them. Mira Costa throws the ball in. Principia steals. Oh, a little knock on.
That's going to be a knock, yeah.
The ref whistled awfully quickly.
Looks like they also... Nope. All good. So just couldn't quite get the tap back. The 9 had to come up and try to get the ball, but it was too far out in front of him for his positioning.
Is a ball?
All right, scrum. Mira Costa wins their scrum. They do have the only turnover off the scrum today, too, which was the last scrum. This seen a lot less scrumming than we saw on Friday, so the forwards might be a little bit fresher.
Arguably, Miracosta's best runner, a very talented 13, just took an offline run back into the teeth of the defense, looking to confuse a little bit. A very clever maneuver, but ended up with a slow forming tackle that ended up in a scrum. Missed the hand signals here to indicate what the reason is for the scrum, but
15's pretty good too, and I think Principia may be keeping the ball away from him because we haven't seen the ball in his hands very often.
And
so Principia with a scrum, maybe 10, 15 meters out from the in goal, and a chance to score here.
oh, good drive by Miracosta, moving Principia back. They score the ball, or they pick up the turnover on the scrum, and they get a good run out. Number 13 again moving the pile, an impressive running stance, keeping him up versus several Principia tacklers. And they get it out wide again. Oh, a very flagrant knock on, but Principia recovers and.
Oh, ref blew the whistle.
Yep, yep. So
Yeah.
often a what do you call it? Not a penalty, Nick, but a short arm. What do you call that? A short arm is what? Not a penalty?
Free kick?
Yes, exactly. So in an instance where we have a lightly affected penalty, the ref will often let things play out and give advantage to one team and see what occurs. But in that case, he blew the whistle. You could have argued a little early, but
yeah, I think ball was going the wrong way, and there started to be a high tackle there, so just keeping it safe.
oh yeah.
So Principia did make a substitution a few minutes ago, and in the forwards, and have not been doing well in the scrum since then. And they've lost again. That's 3 in a row.
Ooh. And
3 in a row they've lost.
Yep, number 9 looks to start moving.
Yeah, I didn't like that clearing kick.
And then we've got Principia Rutgers protecting the ball. Number 13 looks to move up, but he's got to have some support there. Good. Ruck over the ball, protecting our asset here.
Odd choice. Mira Costa was defending the left side. Their left side, Principia's right, and Principia passed it out, even though Mira Costa had numbers. Principia was looking for the ball coming the other way.
A little bit of sloppy choices and excellent defense by Mira Costa gets them the ball back in the line out.
Oh, penalty. There was an offsides on Mira Costa.
Oh.
So Principia is going to get the ball back here.
Oh, tough break there, too. We're also, offsides. Ref signals.
And kick to touch way into the next field. That ball went a long way, but not in a great direction for Principia.
Where the ball crosses the plane of out of bounds is where Principia is obligated to throw it back in.
So do we think we'll see another forwards maul, or do we think we'll see the backs get an opportunity?
I think we'll give the backs the ball. In this case, why? Oh, yep, there we go. Backs go to the ball. And number 10, ready for a phase. Ooh, a nice inside.
Nice tackle. So ball coming out wide towards the camera.
Not a great position to be running with. What? Oh.
Not having the ruckers ready to go. Mira Costa there jack of the ball. Principia player having to hold on to the ball. Penalty. Mira Costa, great defensive stand there. Saying not to kick for the line out. Interesting choice.
And they send their number 3, a strong runner from Mira Costa to move the pile a little bit. Tentative tackle by Principia gets him another 5 meters easily.
They have been most effective today doing kind of that ground and pound. getting the ball out to a pod and a hard run, making Principia play defense. But the runner went by himself with no support. Mira Costa's lucky to keep the ball there. Oh, and he's crawling. Oh, referee, you can't let that go. Yeah.
This ref seems to have a good attitude. He's smiling pretty broadly as he's watching that.
That was a lot of calling. So the ref's going to bring that back. You do have to run. Excuse me. You have to kick the ball through the area where the referee will make a mark, and we did. And Principia did not do that.
Nick, how are we doing on time left in this game? One of Principia's players needing a foot massage. The ref tells him it's just a foot massage, and we'll get him back up and running in no time. Or else.
Having a little stoppage. We've got about 19 minutes left.
19 minutes left. Sounds short to those of us watching comfortably at home. For a rugby player, this is where you start to see double. There are suddenly 60 on 60 or something like that. And the ball's kicked into touch. Penalty for Principia lets them have a line out at about the 22-meter line. The gentleman in the set piece is not too enthusiastic about getting there. Staggering in.
It's been a long 60-some minutes.
So we'll see Principia throw either front pod or a back pod. A great view for that. Suddenly we've got water on the field with number 9. That's an unusual.
Mira Costa with the steal. Throw was not where it needed to go. Mira Costa with a chance now.
The forwards need to survive this half in order to be prepared for the... Oh, a little bit of a rough tackle. Fortunately,
referee's going to call that for you. The
tip tackle.
The player making the tackle is responsible for the tackled player's safety.
It looks like we'll have a tap and go, and they look to run. They continually not pass on their offensive phases, but it's a choice. It's a choice to continue to go into tackle, and we're seeing Mira Costa want to retain possession and potentially not have a knock or a poor possession of the ball in their phases. So now we get a different long arm.
That's for... I'm not sure what it was.
I saw
holding
it.
on to the ball again. So the rucker's for Mira Costa on offense, not getting to where they need to be in time, and Principia allowed to take the ball.
I've often said to the new rugby viewers who may be joining us on this stream, if you forget kicking, you'll understand rugby much better. Ignore whenever they kick the ball with their foot and you're watching a team run the ball forward and pass the ball backward. The kicking is level 2 rugby. And we see Principia's back line making their way out here. Oh, a good
Much
long ball with a strong maul. Mira Costa arguing they're not contesting it, but that's not.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. The ref is supporting that claim.
Right. So if the other team doesn't want to maul, you have to make sure you don't maul against them and bind onto them. But
it's one of those laws that's...
What happens is, especially at the international level, teams are always looking for an advantage, and so they're doing things on the boundaries of the rules, and then there need to be law clarifications over years, and so there are always all these updates going on. And that's one of the things that's was contested over the last decade.
A good backline play, moving the ball around. Mira Costa making some excellent passes, and continuing that. We've got excellent defensive maneuver. Tackled player releases the ball. The Principia player releases the player, scoops the ball, and scores. Fantastic heads-up play by Prin. We thought we saw Mira Costa stringing along excellent passes, but unfortunately, the first tackler to arrive
Mira
took that
Costa
out.
had a 2-on-1 there and a good opportunity for winger to get the ball and make a run, but just didn't have enough. The receiver didn't have enough time to get the ball out to the wing, and the wing might have been a little shallow, so it was also a little tough to get him from that angle. The physical play we're seeing of both teams at the breakdown at the Ruck is really great to see. I think this is the most physical game I've seen all weekend.
And the kick, ooh, little wide, not good. Making the score currently Principia 52 to Mira Costa's 22. 52 to 22, Principia, with approximately 15 minutes left in the game. You may see at the bottom of your screen Mira Costa's coach doing a little discussing with a few of his players. 52 to 24. Thank you for the numerous corrections all around.
We have 3 different people here with 3 different scores.
Oh, and a good bounce might let Mira Costa keep their kickoff. They do. And now Mira Costa's back on offense. A good offensive ruck protecting the ball, and they take it into more tacklers on Principia's behalf. They lose a little yards, but they've got their ruckers. Principia contests the ruck, a little futile. But we've got some of the big guys a little slow to move. Doing some warm-up push-ups.
I love seeing both of these teams compete on the kickoffs when they do. It's a great chance to win the ball back.
Yep.
Both teams have had some success there today.
Yep, and they take it seriously, you can tell. Number 3, carrying the ball carelessly.
Got to look up. He went to ground. If he looked up and passed, he had opportunities. And
oh, a good breakaway by number 9. He's not alone. Number 10 runs in for a good stiff arm, keeps it away of the tacklers, and
that's a textbook sport running there. Following number 9, communicating to him. Number 10 right behind him, and then they make a little split. 10 calls for that ball and is able to run right by the tackling player. Great work by number 10 there.
Yep, and a good groundwork here. Mira Costa driving in, trying to gain a foothold to push the last. Oh, ref is calling. Collapsing the ruck. We're going to scrum with Mira Costa's put in. Meaning Principia presumably either lost their feet or shoved the pile down, various illegal things. Rugby's played on your feet.
Yeah. I think he's just saying that was unplayable. It's not the hand sign for that I'm used to, but I think that's just unplayable in the ruck. And so the team that was on offense gets to put the ball in at a scrum.
When in doubt, listen to Nick, folks. All right, so Mira Costa scrum. They should be excited by this. This is a chance to push right in and score.
They have pulled out one of their props into the back line. So number 3, you see him in the back line, maybe looking for a big run for him. But good disruption by Principia on the scrum does make that less effective than it otherwise might have been. So Principia losing the scrum, but still giving themselves an opportunity on defense by good drive by their forwards there.
Principia's calling for defense to move left, just where Mira Costa puts the ball. Good pass. Runner moves inside. Not sure why, but Mira Costa's now preparing for another phase. Ball goes out left.
Only direction he could go there, Principia overran, but it was a single man. I think they wanted to have a 2-man tackle up there, and then gave Mira Costa an opportunity to scoot back inside.
Mira Costa looking to score here. Number 3 goes in. Does he make it? The ref agrees. Try by Mira Costa. An excellent, large, and in charge run by number 3, grounding the ball right between the uprights. Ideal for Mira Costa's conversion.
They're going to hug that out.
Who is?
3 in the Principia players he just bowled over.
Well, now he's got to run 50 meters. It's nobody's favorite part.
That is the one advantage of getting scored on. You don't have to go as far.
Small consolation for Nick. What do you call it when you've got the opportunity to kick for post?
Conversion.
Yes, but when it's not in a conversion. Tell us and all our listeners.
Penalty kick?
I guess so. That sounds good.
Are we thinking for 3?
Yes.
Penalty kick. Yes.
Somebody needs to give me back my Rugby for Dummies book I read 10 years ago and go through the glossary once or twice.
It's tough having a full-time job, sometimes a couple jobs, to keep up to date with everything.
And the score that we have just updated is Principia 52, Mira Costa 31. That's a close game, folks. Remember, when you score, you get to keep the ball, and Mira Costa is looking to keep that ball so they can have more scoring opportunities. A great dodge, a great step, and player loses his feet, but, man.
Yeah, that kick was just a little too far, too shallow to really compete for it, but it was nice to see Principi actually run onto it.
And, they fake a kick and take it right into tackle territory. Mira Costa keeps possession, and they look to move it left. We've got a consistent back and forth here with long arm penalty towards.
We've had a lot of slow ruckers on both teams today, and that's been the primary penalty I think we're seeing is ruckers not getting there, the ball carrier needing to hold on to the ball, and losing it for their team.
No worries about it. I can make do with it.
Just turn it down a little.
That'll work. Thank you.
With it!
Number 15 for Principia, maneuvering his way through the defense. Ended up getting them on their heels, and he has a very quick step side to side.
Making the score currently 57 Principia to 31 Mira Costa.
We talked a little bit at the beginning about how both teams are very capable of scoring. We've seen that today, and tackling and defense was going to be the big issue, and both teams have struggled there because of the hard running and quick running, respectively, for the two teams, and that's been the difference.
Mira Costa's going to try and block this kick. Good, intense play. Wanting to be committed to the game, I admire that a lot. That's a good discipline to keep up because they want to be running.
Principia making a substitute at their scrum half.
Well, that was clever by Principia's kicker. Waited until the first man had run by. I think the assumption was made that he had left early, and then Principia took a shot. Making the score 56 Principia. That doesn't sound right. In the 50s. 59 Principia to 31 Mira Costa.
With about 5 minutes to play.
Thank you. Been an excellent disciplined game. The kick may not go 10, but he tries.
I'm surprised referee didn't just let a land advantage play there and give Mira Costa a shot.
What? You mean advantage off of kickoff?
Right, well, if the ball hadn't gone 10 when he played it. I'm not sure what happened there, though, because he's giving Principia... Oh, right. I was on the wrong team kicking off. Yeah.
I was scratching my head.
No, I see. The Mira Costa player was just killing the ball.
Yeah.
Right, because it didn't go 10. And that takes away the opportunity of a Principia player snagging it and running with it when it's not defended.
So we've got another scrum half in game now for Principia. feed by Prin. Oh, take by the open side flanker who wants to run. And Jackler step in, but driven off by Prin. And a good tackle right out of the ruck. Oh, but not that good. Entering in
from the
side.
Yeah. To me, the ruck had collapsed there. It disappeared. So that actually looked fine tackle to me. I'm not sure what the problem was there.
I do think, oh, maybe the rucker was beyond the ruck that I was looking at. But
yeah,
it's a fascinating game, folks. You should try it sometime. And Principia
that was
kicks
much
for
better.
touch.
Yeah, much better kick for touch. They've had a lot of poor kicks for touch earlier in this game. Certainly getting it out, but not really gaining territory. And that's more of what you'd expect teams to be doing, gaining a lot of territory, putting yourself in a position to threaten, and making sure you get that ball back on offense.
And Principia's line out, curious that throw the ball way too deep, but number 3 running backwards, not a smart move in rugby. Rarely turns out well, but manages to keep tacklers at bay. Oh, geez.
He might be gone for the races. Oh, they got back. So Principia's fly half, dropping the ball, getting his feet tangled up. Mira Costa regaining possession off.
Yeah, good hit by Prin. Takes that ball.
We have a knock.
I got to say, ref is a very cheery ref. Makes this game very enjoyable to watch. Cheerful ref describing the knock. And we're 75 minutes into the game.
Like the scrum right in front of the camera so we can see what's going on, see the forces involved, both teams trying to get their spines alive and aligned and have all 8 driving straight through the other team.
You'll notice Principia's loose head prop twisted and therefore lost a lot of his driving power. Sometimes you can get a little leverage, but it doesn't often end up well for the other scrum. Number 14 breaking through all the tackles and suddenly into the try line. And I mean suddenly because we were still talking about the scrum back here. A great run by number 14, putting in an excellent effort to cut defenders away. And now we're at a score of 64 Principia to 31 Mira Costa with approximately 5 minutes left. According to our informal timeline, we have approximately 1 minute left. We'll have to see what the ref thinks. Rugby is very unique because in addition to many other eccentricities, you have one watch which keeps the entire game's time, and it is on the wrist of the head ref, and no one else knows what it says. We can guess, but he'll do what he wants. And even when he blows, well, even when the time elapses or completes, the game is not over until the ball reaches a final position, a kicked out into touch, or a score occurs.
He may end up just calling it here and might let it play out for 1 minute.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
This has been a quite hard-fought game. You see the physicality that both teams are able to bring. Both teams have some
kick is good.
Both teams have some potent offensive weapons, and both teams have really grounded out today. Rucks have been fast and furious. I think all of these guys should be holding their heads high.
Yep. Mira Costa players bringing a ton to this game, sometimes literally. Principia players slicing and dicing, great movement on the field. And here we're going to kick off again. Kick to Principia, right into their eyes. It's a good short kick. Ooh, Principia players don't touch.
Yeah. It's a mess of bodies there.
They didn't talk about it, and so one ended up taking out the other.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just thrown away. It's not
yeah,
good.
very
good ball
poor pass,
possession.
but 13 wants
Nice
to dance,
move.
and he breaks a few tackles and looks for a good offload, and suddenly 15's broken free again. He's caught up by a tackler and now finally taken down. Principia's moved the ball quite a ways, and we're at their 55. And the ball's not kicked out; it's chipped.
Yeah.
And-
I don't like that kick. I
Nope,
don't
it looked
understand
like
that.
it was supposed to go out.
Yeah.
It was a much stronger kick with much less result.
Yeah. We have a knock, and the refs are going to call the game here, I think.
I don't know, Nick.
Oh, I guess not. He would have done it. He would have done it. He wants to keep playing.
I mean, sometimes even the refs want to keep playing.
Yeah.
So we'll have a scrum to Principia off of that exchange.
At this point in the game, some of the players want to keep playing, and then some of the players, especially those in the scrum, are ready to be done for the day.
In certain circles, you'll see non-contested scrums where two teams will basically gently touch each other, roll the ball in the middle, and paw it back.
In men's league, low-level men's league, sometimes you have a little bit of a gentleman's agreement, and you just kind of more lean in as the game goes on.
Ooh, interesting chip ahead, but
yeah,
right into the hands of the 15.
Uh,
The
don't want to give it to
fullback.
him.
Ooh,
Don't want to.
a
Oh,
great tackle by Principia's wing player. Oh,
yeah.
there we
That's gonna
go.
be the game.
And the game is over. A well-fought match by both teams.
A lot of emotions we're going to be seeing by both teams, working all season, knowing you have a great team and a shot at going nationals. Only a few games from the championship, and a lot of championship level players out here.
Yep. It's worth watching closely some of the camaraderie immediately post-game. 5 minutes ago, it was elbows and knees at each other, and now it's friendly respect in almost all cases. After this long, you don't have much fight left anyways.
Rugby is a great game for making long-term friendships, for the respect between the teams. Sometimes things can be a little chippy on the field, but after the game, often a great way to meet people and share a drink and just really enjoy the battle you fought with each other.
Well, thank you to all of our audience for listening, and look forward to December when the National Collegiate Rugby Championships occur in Houston, Texas. Principia's team will see you there, and Mira Costa looks forward to next year's contest. Signing off.